So for someone like me who uses 3 computers in my setup, I have my main computer connected to all my displays through a USB-C docking station, and I have my work laptop and my desktop computer rigged up through LAN, but I want to use my USB accessories with all devices. I've been using a KVM switch for quite a number of years, about 3 years now, and it works, but the downside of this KVM switch I've been using is that it's just KM, no V. It's just keyboard and mouse and any other USB accessory, really. No visuals to it, which works really if you come to think of it. But then it's jangled up. The connection usually messes up the front view of my setup, which I do not like. So this brand reached out to me if I would check out their 2-port DP KVM switch, and I obliged and said yes. So I'll be checking it out and reviewing it in today's video to see if it will help solve my problem. So if you look quickly at it, no software needed, plug and play, USB 2.0, not bad to be honest, because I don't use USB 3.0 accessories mainly with the KVM stuff that I use, and it supports Microsoft mouse, Logitech mouse, Unix systems, Windows, Ubuntu, macOS, and other Linux operating systems. Hot plugs, no need to turn off before you switch. Supports 4K up to 60 Hz, which is nice. So let's actually go ahead and check it out. So I'm just gonna get rid of the marketing box and get into the main box right about now. And first you're greeted with the information leaflet. Okay, this is how it opens. I thought it will just flap out. So you see basic information on what you can get done with it. So this is the 2-port one I have right here with me, which I think would work so far. Maybe in the future I might go for the 4-port one, but let's see what really comes here. And then you have the KVM switch itself. At the back you get a USB 2.0 up, a display port out, which goes to a monitor. I think this will come in handy for me. And then you have PC2 display cable and PC1 also display cable, and then a USB port, and then a DC power supply. And in front you have USB 1, USB 2, and the control switch and the indicator that shows which computer is connected at every point in time. So let's get that to one side and see what further comes in the packaging. So you got a couple of cables. Okay. You get a USB 2.0 cable and display cable to display cable. And then you have another USB-C to USB cable, rather, not USB-C, and another display cable. So it's mainly display cables that you get in here. And I think this is really meant for people who use just one monitor. For someone like me who uses 4 monitors, I would need to find other solutions to go in and with this. And I'm gonna put that right here. And then you have the power brick to supply the 5 volts power. And then you have this is nice. You have padding for the bottom of this so it doesn't scratch the desk. That's nice. And then you have the control switcher. That should be the only thing that is popping out of the desk if you so want it to be that way. And pretty much that is all you get in the packaging. I'm just gonna put the rest away. Okay, now that the rest is away, I can get this rigged up and see what I can get done with it. So I can switch a maximum of 1 display with this, 4K up to 60 Hz. And I'm wondering which display I want to be able to swap out. Thinking of it really, I want to swap it all, I'm gonna confess. But given that I have one extra display in my setup, but it does not support display out, I would need to figure out the cable. So the problem with this for me right now is the cabling. The cabling does not support my use case because my devices only support HDMI and HDMI in, except this one that supports DisplayPort in, but my USB hub actually does. But it only supports DisplayPort out, not in. So that is the big challenge I have right now. So I have to figure out that. But barring that, I could tweak my way around since I exactly do not need this place with this solution right here, but something you can check out for yourself. I don't need display solutions. Hey Google, stop. Hey Google, stop. So given I do not exactly need this as a display, so given I exactly do not need this as a display solution for my setup, I can ignore my need for the display cables and just use the USB functionality that this gives me. So DP cables out of the way for now, and I'll just go USB with this. But of course, in theory, that is what should work. So I've got rid of the DisplayPort cables for now because that is not applicable for my setup. So one consideration you need to think about then if you're using this is that you need to buy HDMI cables if your monitors only supports HDMI for your setup. All right, so let us see. Got this control switch right in front to decide which computer is connected, and then you can use this to tap yourself into the setup. And then this for the bottom right here. And the reason I mainly decided to go for this as a review is because I do not like the way this is popping out on my desk. I didn't like it. So I decided I was gonna check this out really and see what the working is like. I don't have any extra power sockets right now, but for the purpose of this video, I will rig it up to somewhere close by on the floor of my setup. But later on, I will get this connected and see how that works out. So what I will do is for the PC1, I will rig it up to, and I will not disconnect my current setup for the purpose of this video. But what I will do is I will connect this up to one of the hubs that goes into my PC1, my real PC1. And you can see it shows that it's connected right up here in front. But of course, there's no power to it, which I think is nice for a start because it doesn't exactly need that power except you're using devices that need to be powered when it's in use, which I think is nice. It's a nice feature right here. And then for PC2, I will connect it to my, what should I connect that to is the question. So I will connect that up to my laptop right over here. Okay. And what I will do is I'll minimize my remote desktop window, although that is not a recommended thing to do because I'll lose view of what I'm recording, but I'm sure it's recording. Yep. So, and I'll get this hooked up to the PC2. No, this was supposed to be PC1 and then PC2. All right, that is powered in now and ready to get connected, and then I can use this to switch. One thing I don't exactly like now is the noise, although it's an indicator that things are switching, but could be nicer in terms of sound. You see that switching between computers, but hey, that's what it is. I gotta live with that for now. So what accessory should I be connecting at the moment? I will demo this with my Logitech headset. So I would wrap this up. I'll use this in front actually for now. And get my Logitech headset. Okay, I guess it's not getting the power now. It shows that it's switchable, but then there's no power to the USB sockets. Because this is supposed to just power on. Let's see. Oh yeah, it powers it up. It powers it up. It powers it up really. That is nice. Okay, so this is connected to PC1 now. And I can use one of my PC1 devices. If I open up right about now, I should actually try this on some webcam if that would work. Oh, I need a USB-C to A cable now. One moment. And this is sort of an extensive-ish needed setup I'm doing. So I'm rigging this up here to this. Yep, as a webcam. So the power should hopefully be coming up. Yep, the power is on. And it should be able to switch devices pretty soon. And I'll show you how that really works now. So I would open up, where's my keyboard now? I would open up my camera app and see if I can see that. If I can see this camera in here, it means this works. Yeah, you didn't see that. And yeah, it's not getting the power it needs to run. I think that is what is happening to it right about now. Okay, it's not getting detected. So I need to give it some juice. So let me get it, let me give it some power. Okay, so now I've got that connected up to power. And let's hope we get it powered. Now, is it supposed to be detected just as a mouse and a keyboard? That is the question now I need to ask myself. Because I can see my webcam software is not detecting this as a webcam. So let us try to not use it in the keyboard and mouse port, but rather in the conventional port right here in front. And if that is going to be detected. No, it's not. It's not been detected. So I'm guessing that doesn't really work for me. Yep, I think this is my conclusion. So far, it was supposed to at least be detected. Let me try and see if it's detected in my meeting software. So actually see if this works. So I've got this connected now to the device, to the KVM switch right on my desk. And what I want to do is go on to the settings in Zoom. I'm gonna bring that up to the screen here. And then up into device settings, first into videos to see if that webcam is detected. But I won't be using the HubSpot stream camera, but rather I'll be using the mid 4K camera. And that should pop something up in here any moment if it's really working. Oh, I guess the reason why that is not working is I was trying to use this in Teams earlier on. So let me quit Microsoft Teams. Okay, so this is the setup right now. In the video settings of Zoom, I have this hooked up to the mid 4K camera. You can see it is actually showing this connected up to PC1. And this is the webcam I'm using right here. That is the HubSpot mid 4K webcam. Oh, I needed a view here actually of this camera. Yeah, that is it right here. That's the camera seeing stuff. And then I can always reorient it to look at the right thing on my desk, as the case might be, which is actually pretty nice for my setup, because most times I want to do overhead videos and then I am lacking the the versatility of it. So that is what that is seeing at the moment. And if I go into my audio settings, I should be able to see the Zone Vibe 125. That is this right here. So what I want to test now is if this will work if I connected this up to the back instead of the front. So let us test that out, and then I'll switch to my other computer, and that should be a redirected input source. So I've done that now, connected it up to the back. That noise is a little bit annoying, I must confess. And then I will switch over the camera. If I see the mid 4K here, it means that worked as expected, but no, I did not. So, but then I can see my other camera setup right there, the faraway camera, but then that has not been detected, probably because that was designed to be a keyboard and mouse input specifically. I wouldn't fuss so much about that, but then for my setup, that would 100% defeat the purpose of this device in my use case. But then I can still, use this setup if I felt like. And then it has detected now that webcam. I guess that's why that closed. Yeah, it detected it now. If I connect see other USB devices, but other USB devices are not detected if they are at the back. So if I switch over now, it will take a couple of seconds, and then the device would switch input, and then I should be able to see the Mate 4K as a redirected webcam, because what I've done is my laptop that I'm using for this is remoting into the computer. So I can see this now as a redirected input, which means it works from the front, but not so much from the back. So which I think, in my opinion, wouldn't exactly work 100% for my setup. But I think for what it does, if it's a keyboard and mouse that you want to connect via USB to the back, that is 100% fine. That is what you're looking for in your setup. But so for someone like me, who I'm trying to, and I'm really trying to get rid of the cable mess in front of my setup, this would not work for me. But if it works for you, let me actually know in the comments. And then if it's something you're looking to get, I'll put a link to purchase one in the video description and also as a pinned comment. But for me, I think it ain't gonna be my main KVM device. I would use it, don't get me wrong, I would use it and then see what it feels like. But then for this frontal thing that it's doing right now, maybe what I could do in this case, then I will have it slammed under my desk and just have this routed out to my desk, because it would fit purpose that way. If that is what I was looking to do, it would fit purpose that way. But if I was something I was looking to place on my desk and I'm trying to do a bit of cable management, that would not work for me. But if I was not trying to do cable management 100%, it works. And the fact that I need extra power, I need to figure out how to get those wires connected up right now. But if you do ask me if I would 100% recommend this, I'm not 100% sure I would, because to be honest, it feels solid metally, but then it could use a little bit more beauty to the setup. That is what I feel. But in terms of practicality, for my personal setup, it would not work. But for your setup, it may work, and that is why I wanted to review this one to see how it works. I've seen devices like this in, when I was looking to switch my KVM, but then I didn't quite find the right choice. But then this brand reached out to me to see if I would review it, and that is what I've done. But for functionality, if you're looking at functionality, it works. But I think one downside in terms of functionality for me is that this port back here should also work with non-keyboard and mouse devices. I'm not sure why it didn't work for me, but it should have worked. And then probably also, I would probably check and see if they're HDMI kind of devices and not DisplayPort devices, and see if either I could have a DP out to HDMI. It means you have to buy more cables if that is the case. If it's something you want to use in your own setup, you have to buy more cables to fit this. But I think I've spent so much time on this video, and I don't want to waste much of your time as my viewers. But that is what I think of the Switch. It's usable, but definitely for my setup, I'll have to make a bit of tweaks before it can work 100% for me. It's not getting heated up at the moment, which is fine, because if you're doing this kind of stuff, it gets heated up, especially if you're doing display out. But for my case, this works for someone who has just a one display they want to switch over. And if someone that uses 4+ displays like me, you would have to have about 4 of this, which would be a bit of a kill. You might just go for a proper USB docking station in that case. So yeah, that's that. But of course, they have a 4-port one also, but I think it's still one display out, not 4 displays out. So for my use case, this would not 100% work, but for someone else it could work, and that is why I read this video. But let me know in the comment section if it's something you're really looking to check out. I'll put a link to purchase it in the video description and as a pinned comment if it's something you like. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you like to see videos just like this one come up on my YouTube channel. Until I come your way again yet to another video, stay safe and goodbye.